be getting a couple of things done today. And it snowed quite a bit, and it it's not, I think it might snow later, I'm not sure, but it's kind of clearing up right now. But man, it took me forever to put my day together. I was originally going to go last night up to Beacon, because I got family in Beacon. I was going to hang out, and I was going to go uh, to Balanced Rock, and I was doing that because I got hit up on the spot by my boy Ra to want to do it, and I was like, yeah, and so I was like, boom, and I knew that he would need a ride, so I started making all the arrangements to make life butter. But then there was some scheduling mishaps. Ra's got to go live with Gary Wayne, and that compiled with everything else that he needs to do without a car and without me being there to be a chauffeur. we had to put off doing it. And I had ultimately, I thought I was gonna try and go anyway for myself, because I would have wanted to climb Breakneck Ridge or whatever. But I ultimately realized I got a few self-care things I need to do, and I really wouldn't have thought to do this if I hadn't been inspired by my friend. So instead, I'm going to go to Balanced Rock later today. I'm going to go get the gym out of the way. And then after that, I'm going to head up there. Then after that, probably going to handle the last of the needed holiday shopping. Come on. There we go. That's the dumbest place for there to be any traffic. Anyway. I'm probably just saying that because I was in the moment, because that place has been there. It just seemed like a bunch of people were not inching forward enough to be considerate of anything going on behind them. One of my pet peeves is if you don't pull out into the intersection while waiting to make a left turn. In America, a left turn. It's just like, the whole point is that you are waiting for other people making their left turns. Well, no, other people that are going straight, or making, or sometimes they're making a left turn and you can do it. So like, it's just my pet peeve, because if I'm like right there, it's just like, I want to be like under the light. So that way when it turns red, I'm already over the light, and I also get enough leeway time, the way traffic lights work, to make my transition. But a whole lot of people don't like to pull out into the intersection. It's irritating. I wish it was kind of part of the way we behave on the road, right? Because there's nothing right or wrong with it. It's just slower, which is inconvenient to people that are used to a different manner, and it's been like this for a while, right? So this is a very small grievance that I can't even apply to road rage. Not permitted to apply it to road rage. But anyway, which I think that probably, he who is acted upon and then is triggered to road rage usually is completely justified in the feeling of rage. The behavior within that rage, you have to take personal responsibility and everything else. You know, and probably half the reason anybody just wants to fight like that is just because there's someone else they want to fight and they can't fight them. Which is, you know, similar projection to some instances of the psychology of the bully, who becomes the bully archetype. Now that's got literally nothing to do with the first thought that popped into my head, but maybe we can call it primer. Hey, what's going on? I got people in the chat room. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, if you watch my Box Saga video, that'll give you a good reason. All right. Christy Marie Winter. Christy, I'm obviously I know you. I gave you a wrench. You've changed your name. Who is this? And oh, Freya, you keep changing your name. You were such a little chameleon. Hey Freya, do me a solid and put Edwing on a short timeout because he's childishly calling for the teacher in classroom when he's trying to lecture. He's probably going to be too much trouble than it's worth, but it's a minor offense, and this is a product of the drive stream, which has doom-scrolling children more often than not. Thank you. So an interesting thing about Project Bluebeam, that's what I wanted to talk about, right? Because look at the particular time we're living in. Project Bluebeam, maybe I'm living in a Mandela effect, because that's the kind of thing that would be Mandela affected, is somebody putting the dark sorcery belief that you saw. Right? I could have sworn I had a look at a CIA paper or something like that for a Project Bluebeam. I could have sworn that I saw that. It had some specification, it had some generalities in it for a particular framework. And it didn't have any particular technology involved. It just talked about the general concept of staging it and how you'd set it up and plan it. I could have sworn I saw an outline of that. So I might have hallucinated that. Or which would have happened from people talking about it, then me piecing it together from maybe like researching like 7 different articles and 10 different fucking documentaries. Like, I did a lot of research on just that in particular, just to avert being fooled. That was the idea, right? Because to me, narratively speaking, it was like the projection of Project Bluebeam was already there. So I had to go and look at it. I had to take it seriously. To me, I saw psychological evidence that we were, quote, primed for it, right? I was surrounded by aspects of the, quote, psychic driving of the matter. It's a useful term that I now recall, thanks to Ryder Lee and Jay Widener's Clockwork Shining. Shout out Ryder. I'm gonna be, by the way, I think Ryder will be cool with me mentioning this, because I talked to him because we're friends on Facebook, and I was just like, dude, all right, I've been thinking and brewing on it, and it's just like, I got an idea, so I've invited Ryder on, and he said he wants to do it. And so I'm gonna be watching and taking notes like I did for the Holy Mountain with screenshots. And I want to have an interview or conversation with Ryder, and I'm going to take my findings from watching The Shining forwards and backwards. I should have a download of it. If the download didn't complete, I'll just have to get the download finished. Or I can hope that the Odyssey page that I was trying to watch it from will be working better. Maybe it was just my computer. No. So, So Project Bluebeam was put together as a coherent thought first in 1990. Wait, was it 1996? It was either 96 or the guy who did it died in 96. And, what fuck? Now I can't remember his name. Sergei Mort or something. He was a French Canadian, I guess he was like a journalist, right? I was just looking at this now because I was taking a look into it because Thomas Sheridan across his social media network was sharing a point that there is no actual document in the government called Project Bluebeam. But he didn't say where Project Bluebeam came from. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. If that's true, let me take a look. So I'm just like, Project Bluebeam government, Project Bluebeam CIA, Project Bluebeam this, and the only thing I actually get that means anything is this French-Canadian journalist who he had some non-woo stuff, and then he crossed the Rubicon, if you will, into the woo territory with Project Bluebeam, as well as some Masonic conspiracies. I think that he wrote after that, right? So there's something to look at here, because whoever that guy is definitely is on beat and on theme with a number of things that are actual conspiracies, whether you're gaslight to believe that they were government documents or not. So we have to recontextualize this, right? Because it's kind of more of a self-fulfilling prophecy where this conspiracy theorist, who was somebody with credit in the system, it's a French-Canadian. And when you think of Canada's connection to Freemasonry, when you think of the French's connection to Freemasonry, and then this guy, and he makes an anti-Masonic book, he writes a book about Masons' conspiracy to rule the world and shit. You're also kind of retroactively looking back at it and asking yourself, okay, let's recontextualize the source, right? Because in 2012, I was emerging, looking at, all manner of conspiracy, esoteric, and paranormal material, right? The year prior, I kind of was trying to see past what I now understand as the first veil, which is the whole Maya, in which the dark sorcery is permeating in the field, which Pluto and Aquarius is about to tear asunder. And these orbs are a manifestation of Pluto and Aquarius to the umph degree. It's It's kind of amazing when you think about it. And here's the thing, though, is that I was making this comment on Project Cheney. I've reemerged, talkatively active over on Project Cheney. I spent a lot of time separated from everybody over there because I needed to clear my emotional and mental field of anything that I thought was a person with me or against me, because I really didn't like the mistakes that I made in my own head about people that I considered to be colleagues, friends, people of mutual respect, so on and so forth, and turned out to be not that, or just something comes to show that they don't quite understand you, which may or may not be from being incapable of having a deeper comprehension of meaning, because they still need to work on other aspects of knowing thyself, or you've lived too much of a life to think anything better of that, and it's all just gay and trite. Sorry, don't work like that. Don't work like that. You can't think the way somebody does things is awesome, and then think it's okay to make a mockery of little traits about them that have a lot to do with why they are the awesome way that they are. Especially when you thought that there was an assumption of understanding, and you see the kind of venue, medium, and audience in which these manners are happening. So, Project Bluebeam is, I'm sorry, Hollywood movies, consistently giving us 7 ways a Sunday of imagining how the aliens are coming to invade us. I mean, look, we Project Bluebeam The Walking fucking Dead 4 years ago. Project Bluebeam's real. It was a zombie invasion. Maybe they'll do it again for real with what everybody asked for, which was aliens. Because look at the subtext of the people that are having a hard time with life. They would enjoy this kind of a apocalyptic hallucination, to have their own pocket psyche fracture, right? The people that burned down the country in 2020 and the people that also raided the Capitol in 2021 are two sides of the same fucking coin of the delusion of apocalypse. You had the nihilism of their wonderful world of lockdowns, and then you had your altruism of the sales pitch of the Christian Reich. And if anything, Project Bluebeam will happen by the merit that the people want it to happen, because they can't figure out how they're oppressed, and so they need an existential oppressor and an existential savior. We have an enemy beyond our reach to destroy. No, they're not. It's your neighbor. It's your neighbor thinking it's a good idea to call the police on you for living your life. Like some guy with his fucking raccoon and squirrel. And, You voted for something that you don't have a vote of confidence that the president would stand. So, like, you don't know. We think we know because we're high on our own sauce of what we say we're going to make government be. And that's your delusion, is thinking that you can make government be something. You can't. Government just forces itself to change a mask, so it has no relationship to its own identity, which is why it can kill millions of people in a pandemic and move on like nothing happened, because it's always going to project you back to yourself, which is true. Not one government agent fucking did a goddamn thing to me. You, my neighbor, you, my local store, you, my doctor, might have fucking done something to me. And those people acted like there was an invisible government agent that was telling them they gotta do it this way. Which, to me, that smells of the Jesuit psyops. And there's interesting ideas that the Jesuits and the Masons fucking hate each other. Right? And if you're nihilist enough, you'll not appreciate the war of the elites in which we are pawns. Because it's all the same to us, yes. But if you really fucking care about why it's all the same to us, because it's different to them. They are having their own little conflicts, and then they need you to fucking accessorize to their conspiracies. And so I do the box saga to help with context. Right? So, Project Bluebeam is real. It's not a government document, but you're fucking living in the psyop. And we'll see how much does droning around manifest itself across the world, as I'm already hearing about reports in England and other places. Because I don't think this is going to last much longer, but it needs to last until there's some sort of psychic tension break. Maybe it happened already, I don't know, I don't keep up on the daily, but I have seen some very interesting footage, which is, if it's really things that are really what some of these quote drones are doing, well, fucking well. Alright, man. Hey, what's up, Aim Bear? And Sumperman, neighbors get mad at me for having chickens. Yeah. Well, if they don't want to be up with the sun. I mean, like today, I didn't want to be up with the sun today. I was gonna try and be up with the sun, but I had lost too much sleep the night before based on little fucking shoulder problems I've been currently having, which I was ranting about in a stream the other day. And I'm trying a cream that one of my friends recommended to me to alleviate that. So we'll see how that goes. I started on it last night. Anyway, I'm going to get myself a coffee, and then I'm going to go hit the gym and do the other things I said. All right. I'll see you guys later.